everybody. Today I am very excited to present the Silence of the Lambs Hannibal Lecter by Blitzway. Now there were two different versions of this figure. I got the one that came with the gurney and the straitjacket because to me that's a must. The other one came with the baton, and it was based on the scene where he escapes from his cage and beats up the prison guard. But to me, this is iconic, where he's wearing the mask and he's all tied up in the gurney. And let's crack this open and see what we got going on. I'm very excited about this one. Hey folks, all right, so here it is. Pretty standard box. It's kind of oversized, but that's because it comes with quite a bit accessories. So it's Silence of the Lambs, 1/6 scale Hannibal Lecter, straight jacket version by Blitzway. Licensed by MGM. Now this was at Comic-Con on display, and people were just going crazy over this. And I was one of those people. And I have had this on pre-order for a while now, and it finally, just kind of at the last minute, came in. Not too much complexity as far as the instructions go. All right, here it is. Let's start with the figure. All right. Face cage, check. Iconic mask, check. It is weathered. Now I did have a, I forget the company that made it, but I had a figure of Hannibal a few years back. It was mass produced, it wasn't a custom, but the problem was it was poorly done. And on top of that, for some reason, the figure was not a standard 12-inch scale body. I'm sure some of you know which figure I'm talking about. Maybe you had it in your collection, but it was too small. And I even tried switching out the body and putting the clothes on a different figure, and the problem was that the clothes were tailored to that smaller body, so it didn't work out. The figure was just a disaster. Once I found out that this was available for pre-order, I listed that one on eBay and sold it off real quickly, which I typically do when better figures come along of the same type. So this is very nice, good detailing, good weathering on the mask. All right, now we got the figure. Okay, let's see. First impressions. I'm not a fan. I don't know if you could tell, but the pants look a little too weathered, like they're faded orange instead of like the bold orange that I remember from the film. But the straitjacket is weathered pretty nicely. I like that. I remember on the former figure that I had, it was just like a bright white, like, you know, fresh from the manufacturing floor, and that wasn't realistic to me because, you know, these things have a lot of use in an actual mental hospital. So they're going to be a little bit beat up. So I was very impressed by this. The buckles on the back have a lot of detail to them, as well as the stitching on the vest as a whole. I really do like that. Now as for the head sculpt, the eyes aren't as glossy as they are in the box. Of course, that's done up, airbrushed, whatnot. But I'm probably gonna go back and touch it up with just a light dab of gloss on a toothpick, because I think they're a little, the eyeballs are a little bit dried out looking. Probably the teeth as well. The teeth look a little dry too. But other than that, I would say that it's pretty good. It's not Hot Toys good. Sorry if I've offended some of you Blitzway fans, but Hot Toys just seems to have the edge above the rest as far as head sculpts go. And this just isn't quite there. No denying who it is, it doesn't look that warped, but there's just something missing from the dimensionality of the paint job or the choice of paints. I don't know what it is exact. Can't put my finger on it. All right, let's take a look at some of the accessories it comes with. All right, now, I was very excited when I had read about the figure and saw what it was going to come with, because, I mean, I was sold when they said it was coming with the gurney. I really was, because before this came along, the best you could do was, I think the guy is out of the Philippines, but he's on eBay, and he sells a lot of custom-made accessories using real materials. So, like if the real item is made out of wood, he uses wood in his construction, metal, so on and so forth. And he does custom sunglasses, he does custom weapons, and he did these gurneys. Every so often they pop up on eBay, and they would be like $550, $650. I mean, all his stuff is very pricey. And I'm not going to say that the guy overcharges, because I don't know what kind of work goes into him making these accessories. I will say it's a little outside my price point. But then you had this figure come along, and I'm sure he was pissed when he saw this. But this figure comes out by Blitzway, and it's I think it came out to like $270 for this whole set, and it includes the gurney. Now, granted, his gurney is made out of metal. Fine, I'll give you that. But if you're having this stuff on display, nobody's going to be trying to open your glass case and handle this crap and say, oh, this is plastic. I mean, it looked like metal, but now I touched it and it's not heavy enough, so I'm not impressed. No, it gets the job done. It has all the movement. The wheels move. It's got the locks here for the ankles. This moves so you could slide it back. Yeah, this is kind of rubbery, so it's got some squeeze to it. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably weather it a little bit more because it doesn't look weathered at all. So I probably will put some like silverish dings in there and dents just to weather a little bit. So that's good. Now this, once I saw the picture of this, I'm sorry, but why? Why is this necessary? It doesn't make it, it's some kind of poetic statement about the film or something. It says, hurt, agony, pain, love it, pride. This wasn't in the film. This doesn't make sense to me as far as the theming of the entire figure goes. It kind of reminds me of that shower head that came with Blitzway's Tyler Durden from Fight Club. It's like, okay, I understand the bar soap was part of the theming, but I don't remember an actual shower being important. So, I don't know. They're kind of weird like that. They'll throw in some random stuff. Alright, so this is part of the figure stand. Same with this. That's the stand. Looks like you got a few different positioning options. And then what's this? Okay, so these are the straps for the gurney, which I'm sure the instructions will tell me how to arrange this. But this is to strap him into the gurney, which I'll do right now, and I will come back to you in a second. All right, here you have it, folks. I got it. It looks fantastic. It's a little bit of work taking care of some of these straps, buckles, and locks, but not too bad at all. And there's great detailing on the strap systems here. Two different kinds of straps you got. The mask fit pretty snugly. Whatever you do, don't mix up these head straps because they're different lengths, and I took them all off at once and put them back on individually, and it just confused the hell out of me. So try to keep them organized. There's some customization options available for which holes you use on the sides, but you want to. It looks like it generally works best if you fit them on the back 3 holes. But yeah, this is probably how I'll display it in the case, just like this. I also happen to have a Detolf-sized diorama of his cell, complete with the plexiglass cage windows. And I'll probably have him just sitting behind the glass like this. And I'm very impressed. I might just go all the way, and I've been eyeballing some accessories and clothing options for making a custom Clarice. There's a $150 head sculpt on eBay that pops up every once in a while. And although I don't like paying that much for a head sculpt, the guy who makes them does a pretty good job. I've ordered a few different heads from him, and I haven't been disappointed at all. So I might just do a Clarice to go along with this to complete the diorama with this figure. Put a little FBI badge sitting in a chair, and I think that might just look amazing. But altogether, I will give this figure a, let's say, a 9.2. The biggest thing against this is just, like I said, with the head sculpt, there's just a little bit missing from it. I'm going to have to go back in, gloss the eyes, gloss the teeth, and then it'll be acceptable. But they could have maybe just done a few more layers of the paint, made it, you know, sometimes like Hot Toys has a way of doing the paint texture where they just make it look like skin. It has the imperfections, the freckles, moles, whatever you want to call it. But they do the flicker, the toothbrush flicker of the paint. I don't know how they do it, but they make it look lifelike. The sculpt itself is unbelievable, but something about the paint job is just a little lacking. The weathering on this is good, but yeah, I would have given it a higher score if it wasn't for the head sculpt. The shoes, the clothing. I know from the pictures that there's a prison numbered T-shirt under here. I'm not going to undo all these straps and stuff just to take a look at it, because I know I'm going to display it like this anyway. So I'll trust them on that. But yeah, just an outstanding figure. Blitzway's Ghostbusters Ecto-1 is the next thing from them that I'm expecting soon. I think at the earliest they said it would be January, so we're about in that time frame where I should receive some notice at some point. That is going to go down as the most expensive out the door item that I've ever gotten. So I think that comes up to like $1,300 or something like that for that Ecto-1 to go for my my Ghostbusters figures. And yeah, that's going to be a lengthy unboxing and review video, I'll tell you that much. But it's coming, folks. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I do recommend that you add this to your collection, even if you're not a fan of Hannibal here, because it just looks like a gorgeous figure. All right, take it easy.